Hello and welcome to another fun-filled nonsense retrospective. I'm your host as always, Rick, and joining me equally as always is Devon.
Hello.
Yeah, today we're going to do a bit of an armchair booking. You've heard these before. You've heard us pontificate about Dragon Age before. This time we're diving into Veilguard and what could have been done differently. Ways that we would have improved it.
Because we pivoted slightly because of the time constraint, I've stopped it from being an armchair booking and just, here's things I'm going to bitch about.
Yep. So yes, today it's 3 ways that we would improve Veilguard. So, what's your number one?
Nah, you take the lead today.
Okay, my number one is a split between characters and writing. So here's the deal.
Could you be any more broad?
Yeah. So I would have been happy with the Absolution crew. I
were never
think
gonna
they
get those.
we were never going to get those. They were a cool crew, and I think that a lot of them would have fit in pretty well with what the game was meant to be. You know, the whole Tevinter Knights counter-terrorism stuff. I adore Quidian. Even if we only got one, please let us have Quidian. The gang is fine, but that's kind of where it ends. They're kind of mostly just fine. The only ones that I think actually stand out as way above average are Lucanus and Emmerich. Everyone else has something bringing them down.
I mean, I think Emmerich is great, and he's the only character that joins your party that I give a fuck about. Everyone else is lame. Lucaris has an interesting gimmick that they never fucking explore.
They explore it a bit better if you're romancing him, and if you go...
That's bad.
Yeah.
Like, the most annoying thing about it is, I picked Lich Root for Emmerich. Is that his name?
Emmerich, yeah.
Because I was like, well, this is where I'm leaning towards. This is what I would pick. I naively went, I'll see what the other route gives me later, and then I never played it again because I couldn't put myself through it. But I took the Lich route, which means you don't get Skelly Bro back, and there is a line of dialogue because I just happened to have him and Assassin Bro with me on a mission after that, and Spite, isn't it?
Yeah, Spite goes, "Where is curiosity?"
Yeah, and he basically cries, and it's like, wow, there's another spirit with emotion, and that's the last hint of it we're gonna get.
Not only that, it's a spirit with emotions other than the one that it's named after.
Yeah, I mean, the most annoying thing, Rick, is I've been replaying Inquisition over the last a week and a half, and cool. I only bring it up because I'm like, man, night and day, companion-wise.
Yeah. Compare Spite to Cole,
who is another interesting, unique case. You literally, granted, it's not perfect. Like Dragon Age has always had the problem of, yes, we're all about choice, but the choice is usually, here's a really obvious way of going A, or a really obvious, pick A or B, there's your choice, and then you can do everything counter to that in between moments.
Yeah, you can go... It's like with Renegade and Paragon. You can be an absolute, complete good guy saint the entire game, and right at the end you go, "Oh no, I'm gonna go the complete asshole way for this ending for no reason."
It's just, I get it. It's hard to implement that sort of system, but it's not impossible.
Yeah, and the idea is that you can basically headcanon your own reason why you swerved that way, but that's down to you.
Yeah, but I don't see that's stupid.
Kinda. Yeah.
I'm not even talking about big ending decision, by the way, Rick. I mean, you can just be like, oh, Cole is a human now, and then in every other conversation, tell Cole, stop acting like a human, you're a spirit. And it's silly. It's really silly.
Yeah.
But yeah, the characters suck. Emmerich is the most interesting by far. I think he's really well written. Scout Harding was such a want in Inquisition, and they fucked her.
Exactly. That's why I put characters and writing. It's like the way that the characters are written rather than the writing in the game in general. It's specifically the character writing is what I've got this one down as. Harding might as well have been a completely different character, and for all intents and purposes was.
Yeah.
We got her essentially de-aged from her badass sarcastic persona in Inquisition. She's about 15 years younger, and she's now just an ooh-woo sugar and spice, just data dwarf.
Yeah, it's lame. Also, let's go on a picnic while the world's ending.
Yeah, and talk about cheese.
Inquisition had a world-ending threat going on in the background, but it was constantly being fought against. In this, the only people fighting against it are you. It makes no sense. It's a bit granted, I give it a pass because it's clearly a fan service DLC and doesn't matter. It's like when you go do the Citadel DLC in Mass Effect 3. It's just like, the world's ending. Why are we having a party? Oh, because this DLC DLC is about fan service. Fuck off.
Yeah, this is the last DLC. Like, the series is ending now. Goodbye.
Yeah, like, and they had to slot it in before the end of the game, obviously, because of how that game ends. So it's like, yeah, they didn't have much of a choice, but it's just so baffling, you know? Like, the Scout Harding from Inquisition would not be like, let's go have a picnic while the world is blowing up.
No, she wouldn't. Dagna would, which makes me think that this character was meant to be Dagna, and the only reason they made it not Dagna is that if you play your cards right, she's canonically already in a relationship with Sarah.
Well, that's just not romancing Sarah.
Yeah.
If you don't romance Sarah, then Sarah romances Dagna. That's pretty much how that goes.
Yep.
But yeah, it's so annoying because they could have done the Titan thing. They have two dwarfs that we've already met that could have taken up this role. Dagna, because she's the first dwarf mage, kinda, don't think about it too hard. Or literally the DLC lady from Inquisition.
Yeah. And hell, like, even Varric, he's got the ties to the idol in the fact that, you know, Bartrand was just completely fucked over by it, and now Varric is... He doesn't want that to happen to anyone else, and he's been working throughout 3 games to make sure that it doesn't happen to anyone else.
I mean, somehow I think that would actually be a worse plan for Varric than what they actually did.
Yeah, somehow Varric returned.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, I don't like how they handled Varric. I think it was very stupid in Veilguard. However, I think having him have magical dwarf magic would have been worse.
Yeah, because he's already got his gimmick.
Yeah, which, so funny how everyone U-turned on that, because people hated it in Dragon Age 2, mostly because they took away crossbows from everybody else.
Yeah, took away from
But, like, who the fuck mained crossbows in Dragon Age Origins? Nobody. You have a crossbow as your secondary weapon for that one encounter where you can't hit the dudes with your sword.
Yeah, like, Sten has a crossbow for if he's too far away, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, like, anyone who goes archery with their warrior is a moron.
Yeah, that's a rogue thing.
You might as well just have a rogue do it. Then you got an excuse to pump your fucking charisma as well.
But yeah, it's also weird that you've got 3 rogues and they're all fucking mages.
Well, yeah, because unfortunately the way they handled terrain traversal in this game was, hey, we need to pop things up all the time, so you always have to have something magical to pop them. But they solved that by giving you the Omni tool.
Yeah, they do. So obviously Harding gets her earth magic. Bellara is just a mage with a bow, and Lucanus is possessed, which is something that usually only happens to mages. So they make all 3 of them essentially into weird mage hybrids.
Except I do like what they did with Bellara, because it makes that one elf in Iron Ball's crew actually maybe not be entirely bullshitting, with the attunement charm being an ancient elven trick for making you shoot better.
Yeah. It's this staff is it's a bow. It's an elven bow.
It's a staff, Dalish. Why is there a glowing crystal on top of it? Ancient elven trick.
But yeah, so Dwarf Mage was cool, didn't have to be Harding. Harding didn't have to be the ooh-woo version of herself, and, like, even characters that I like could have been done better, and I've not even touched on some of the ones that we've not talked about just yet. So let's move on from this. What's going to be your third/first thing?
I'm going to touch upon one of the characters we didn't talk about, because it segues so well into it, because it's such a glaring, like, you didn't even fucking try, and that is Tarsh's character arc, specifically Tarsh's, because I adored Tarsh, and I was really looking forward to seeing what they did with them. I really was. And they fucked it. Like,
yeah.
There's no better way of describing it. Like, I've played through that story because I romanced Tarsh, because of course I did. Big Canary lady, initially anyway. And, instead of writing a story within the confines of the world, it felt like they asked ChatGPT before it was a thing and said, can you write us a story about someone discovering their non-binary? And then didn't change it. They didn't make it fit the world. They threw in some random Kunari words because I guess we're trying, but it was all a load of wank. It sucked. It was so basic bitch, and I know BioWare can do better. Yeah.
And do you know what the stupidest thing is? That while they're trying to hammer the thing home about Tarsh being non-binary and everyone that's good aligned accepting it, and everyone that we're meant to disagree with not accepting it, you still have to make a binary choice as to whether they go more Rivani or more Kunari in their leanings.
It's so fucking funny.
Yeah, like, the obvious choice is
both.
to not choose. Be
both or
the
be
way
none.
that you always have. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so funny. It's so funny. This entire arc, which is already fucked up by the fact that it's just literally therapy speak the entire time, which no one talks like that. They certainly wouldn't talk like that in Thedas.
Yeah.
And then, her final choice is, which do you want to be? Which is so counter to the whole fucking story up until that point. Oh,
Dude,
goodness.
It's one of the few real criticisms of Baldur's Gate 3 is where Will has no agency in the thing that is meant to be his main quest, where you just choose it for him. And it's the same thing for Tash, which is the most important thing to their life outside of, their identity, which they've kind of figured out for themselves, is the other part of their identity, which they now need you to choose for them.
Yeah. The annoying thing about Will is they could have solved it real easily because they already did it in the game with fucking Shadowheart.
Yeah, there's ways to build up his character to make it so that he's got his own default choice. So if you say nothing, he makes a choice for you, relevant to what he has experienced and how his personality is. But apparently they didn't trust you enough to have enough Will in your party compared to Shadowheart, who is, shaped like Shadowheart.
Well, also she is the first party member you get, and you can't really miss her.
Yeah,
you can miss Will.
Mm-hmm. Lae'zel's the first one you get, but yes, Shadowheart.
You know what I meant. I meant after the tutorial, dick nuts.
Yep.
You can miss Lae'zel, you can't miss Shadowheart because she's right there on the floor.
Yeah.
Ask me how I know you can miss Lae'zel.
Yes. I had to go looking for her as well. Don't worry about it.
I actually went too far forward, and she wasn't in the place where she was meant to be, so I had to reset the game, which was about 2 hours of gameplay because I explored.
Yeah. The longer you leave it, she just proceeds further and further in the world. Sometimes the next time you see her is when you go and find Kithrak Voss, and she's just there in rags.
Well, she's dead, isn't she?
No, Kithrak Voss, she can join you at that point. She's just kind of hanging about, and then she's like, "Oh yes, you, join me for this," and then you can do that with her. And if you try to weasel around Voss, that's when she joins Voss and attacks you, and then you have to kill her because she's not a party member at that point.
Sure. But going back to Tash, there was so much. I wouldn't say controversy because it was manufactured by that crowd who just don't like wokeness and use that label to, brand anything that they disagree with. But the amount of agitation they caused, and that's all we got for the effort, was this crap story. Again, I really wanted to like Tash, and I did like their romance scene, their initial romance scene, and then you got their spicy scene near the end, and it was hyped up by the voice actor and everything. It's like, oh wow, it's super spicy. And it weren't shit. But that's a different point altogether.
No, Carl actually ain't.
No.
Well, they ain't.
And it's one of those where, it's just this. And also the romances in this game suck, because there's no real failing them, you just choose which one you want.
I feel like the secondary romances between other characters are more satisfying than your own for a lot of the time. Watching Tash and Harding get romantic with each other is really sweet. Watching Lucanus and Nev start to romance each other is also very sweet.
Oh, I mean,
fair enough. It's really annoying that Lucanus and Nev will get together if you destroy one of their homes, but they won't get with you.
Well, yeah, because you made that decision.
Yeah, true.
But anyway, I digress. Rick, what's your next point you want to touch upon?
My next one is plot. And
oh my days, when I said pick 3 points, I was hoping you'd be more specific.
Well, yeah, the character writing, this one is that we could have had what we had in the beta, which is the Tevinter counter-terrorism cell, where you've got 3 factions. You've got Solus's eco-terrorist druids, and you've got the Tevinter magisters, and you got to navigate them both. And this sounds like something that could be done really well. I kind of understand why they stepped away from it, because it requires more writing than none.
I actually think it's the opposite problem, Rick, because this game was originally meant to be multiplayer, and having 3 factions that close together in a city is a perfect setup for a multiplayer only game, and would require much less writing, because all you need is the writing for advancing each faction.
Sure.
But
fair enough.
I disagree on that one. That being said, though, the plot for this game is dumb. Yeah. I don't know if it's dumb. I think it's a fine
in 10 years, are we going to remember Elganon and Gillenane?
I already forgot them, to be honest. Like, in my opinion, Solus should have been the big bad the entire time, but they really fucked it, didn't they? Because the first thing you do is deal with Solus. You don't really deal with him. You kind of put him on hibernation mode until the end of the game, and then he becomes the big bad again for the last 5 minutes. But you don't even fight him.
Yeah, you put him up on a shelf, and then by the time he's back in the game, he's basically an ally. He's helping you. He's doing everything correctly, and like saving everyone's lives behind your back. And he's only the actual villain right at the end, when you either do or don't fight him.
I mean, if you've played the game properly, there's no point in fighting him.
Yeah, like
here's a dialogue choice, skip the final boss fight, because who cares?
Yeah, the only reason to fight him is to experience the fight, and guess what? It's like every other fight.
Yeah, the fights in this game are boring. Like, maybe they're more interesting as a warrior, where you actively have to block and stuff, but I played through the game as a mage, and mage go brr, it's easy mode.
Yeah. I also appreciate that you don't have to have the standard trio, but it helps if you do, because they tend to have the correct rock, paper, scissors for primers and detonators.
It's such a simplified combat system compared to even Inquisition. Like, it seemed we have this problem with Dragon Age with every new incarnation, in that the battle system doesn't get more advanced, it just gets dumber. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, but they took it far too far down in Veilguard. But they had to. It was going to be a multiplayer game.
Yeah, it was going to be multiplayer. They had to dumb everyone and everything down. It feels like the companion characters are what was meant to be the kind of feel of what your rollable characters would be like, rather than your main character, which is obviously a bit more in depth and customizable.
Well, I think your actual companion characters would have been played by other players.
Yeah, exactly. So like there wouldn't have been a rook in that way. You would have picked up the different characters from the story that way.
I mean, yeah, maybe. I think they would have everyone would have been playing generics. You wouldn't have Nev and Lucarius. You'd have Antivan Crow and what the fuck's the name of the faction? Yeah, she's from the. I've forgotten the name of them.
It's the Tevinter ones, but they're good. The good guy Tevinters.
Yeah, the not blood mages, but maybe. Right, seeing as we're speaking of the plot, by the way, I'm going to bring up something that I brought up ages ago, and that was, I remember like 3 cutscenes in after playing the intro, being like, no one's talking to Varric, and Varric keeps speaking as if people are listening. Varric might as well be dead, and I said that to myself while playing the game, and boy, did I get really annoyed when it turns out, oh yeah, that's because Varric's dead, and I'm like, yeah, cool, what a shit plot twist.
Yeah.
That I accidentally guessed it while being mad.
Like it really sucks that like none of the other characters just tell you,
because you respond to Varric and all the other characters don't say anything.
yeah, you're like you're in Varric's bedroom, or what you have ascribed to be Varric's bedroom, and you're just talking like you're saying what you talk about Varric, and then Harding is just like, I'm just going to let you process that on your own.
To be fair, the sick bed scene, especially at the beginning of the game, whenever you're talking to Varric, you finish speaking before someone enters the room. But there's group discussions where people say stuff to you, and then you cut to Varric talking, and everyone ignores Varric. In fact, maybe you don't talk to Varric in front of them. Maybe I'm misremembering slightly. Because again, nobody talks to Varric except for you.
Yeah, when Varric is in a scene with the rest of your council, he's just kind of stood behind one of them, and he just chimes in now and then.
Yeah, and then everyone ignores what he just said. It's very, very obvious.
Yeah, it's like, you've not seen it, but it's the way that they treat Leia in Rise of Skywalker.
Well, they have to, don't they?
Yeah. Like, she says things that are recorded in The Force Awakens, and they just kind of try and make it fit, and try and have someone interpret what she said to make it fit the new story.
I think I have seen. Wait, is Rise of Skywalker the last one?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's the first 2 of those I saw. Anyway,
let's
talk about the bad thing.
The additional bad thing, yes. But yeah, so that's the plot that I would change little bits about it by overhauling the whole thing. Do you have anything to add for your number 2 thing?
I haven't brought up my number 2 thing yet.
Well, what's your number 2 thing?
My number 2 thing is also relative to the plot to a certain degree, and that is, what the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? That's not how that works. I'm talking about the Blight.
That's my number 3 thing, essentially.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, this really fucking irked me because it's the first thing you do more or less after the tutorial. You're just walking around at the speed of sound in a thing infested with Blight. A thing we've been told for 3 games that if even a drop of that gets in your mouth, you might die. But we're just going to roll around in it. The only excuse is if you're playing as a Grey Warden Rook, yeah, sure, it's not going to do shit to you. But that sure as fuck don't help Neville Bellara.
No. So I've got this written down as feel. That Darkspawn don't feel like Darkspawn.
There's a plot reason for the Darkspawn looking the way they do and not quite being as threatening in a combat sense, because they're fake Darkspawn made by the 2 elves that we're dealing with. But the Blight still works the way the Blight does, but it doesn't.
Yeah. Like, they could have actually gone into that and said, like, have people noticed this? That these Darkspawn are different to what Darkspawn were before, and the Blight is different to what it was before. Like, that it's affecting non-living things a lot more than it's affecting the living, because Gillenane wants to take personal interest in the living stuff and leave the Blight as a tool to just terraform the world to their to the way that they want it to be. Like, the Darkspawn look more like a combination of old Darkspawn and undead. And they could also, like, lean on that and, like, explore it and talk about it.
What it actually looks like, though, is that they got lazy and they reused the old Abomination fucking model from Mass Effect 3.
Yeah. And, like, just bring things together. Like, bring Darkspawn with undead and some abominations together under the same aegis for that reason. Like, I know you're using the abomination terminology from the Reapers and the way that that's how they were, but, like, we have abominations here as well, and it would fit to a degree, because that's kind of how they all have a like a through line. Like, these things are fundamentally from the same DNA, and I think that could have been explored. They could have done this.
I just think it was a mistake involving the Blight and Darkspawn at all, really. Like, I feel like it's a staple for Dragon Age, and therefore they had to include it a little bit. But, and again, I'm going to use Inquisition as an example, because it's the most recent thing I played. That's got nothing to do with the Blight. You just have Darkspawn randomly appearing in places because that's how they be. And when you encounter them, either yourself or Blackwall is just like, we should probably seal this tunnel so this doesn't become a bigger problem.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not killing all of them forever. They're just sealing the ones that are always going to be respawning here away. To, like, kick that down the road for another few hundred years.
It's just like, yeah, because there's not a Blight happening, so it's not a problem. I mean, it is a problem, but it's not a problem, because Dragon Age Origins kind of fucked up slightly in terms of the sequels by making the Darkspawn such a big threat. But the only reason they were such a big threat is because there was a Blight, and I think a lot of players, and even the writing staff, forget that.
Yeah, because normally they just are. They're just like an ever-present thing in the deep roads that sometimes bubble up.
Yeah, like, if you find them in the wilderness, it's a problem, but if you live in a settlement, you're very rarely going to encounter a Darkspawn.
Yeah, they're, like, I think they shouldn't have added additional undead.
Elaborate?
I don't think undead should have been part of the Dragon Age universe and just make it a function of Darkspawn.
Unfortunately, Dragon Age 2 then immediately falls apart. You have to completely remake that game if undead don't exist. Because undead is just spirits inhabiting corpses, and that shouldn't happen. And that's a mage problem.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a possession thing, really, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Like, and I think they don't make too as big of a deal separating ghouls from undead, because ghouls are basically undead, except they work for the Darkspawn.
Yeah, that's fine. And then you got stuff like Revenants, which are bullshit.
Oh, don't get me fucking started. Do not get me started. I closed a Fade Rift the other day that summoned a Revenant, and I was like, that's not how that works. I guess it is now.
Yeah. They're not even from here. You don't even go here. What are you doing?
Oh, God, yeah. And Revenants was such a big deal in Origins, too, because there was only 5 in the game, and they gave you one piece of this really cool armor set. Yeah.
I remember fighting them in the tabletop game, and we ended up having to basically sacrifice an entire dungeon just to keep one imprisoned, and if someone else came across that dungeon, it was going to be released up on the world again.
Well, that's not your problem, though, is it?
Yeah, no, it's not our problem. We're gone now.
I feel but that seems to be what happens in a lot of Dragon Age dungeons that you encounter as a party is, here's a problem. How did we fix the problem? We closed the fucking door and we left.
Closed the door and left.
And your party comes along and goes, oh, there's a dungeon here. Wonder where this door goes. Oh, no.
Yeah, someone else did that in the past, and now you're undoing it and having to redo it.
Except because it's a video game, you're not actually able to just fuck off.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Blight is the biggest offender for shit they just changed. And I gotta be honest with you as well, they use it liberally. It's part of one of the big choices. There's like 3, 4, 5 big choices in that game, not counting the finale stuff. And one of those big choices is which city ends up getting blighted because you didn't go there. And it's dumb.
It is. Like, you can't even split your forces. You've got enough dudes.
You do. You've got 2 party members, 2 parties worth of dudes minimum. But no, Lucarius is going to go to Antifa while we help Nev.
Yeah.
Except I'm joking. I didn't help Nev. Actually, I tell a lie. I did help Nev because my guy was a Tevinton and he didn't want his home to get blown up. Again, that's another problem as well, is depending on your background, there's a non-0% chance that your character is from there. So why wouldn't they pick there? Yeah,
and I understand the other person getting mad, but I also understand, like, they shouldn't, like, super hold it against you. Like, I also played Tevinter Mage, and
worst combo
it was kind of
I wish I was a Grey Warden.
Like, thank fuck I wasn't a Lord of Fortune, because they just, like, all they're there for is fucking money.
All they're there for is an excuse to write Isabella into the game.
Yeah.
Which, again, don't get me wrong.
Isabella.
Oh, don't. Part of Tasha's thing that we glossed over, but it's because we kind of spoke about it before. It's like, I totally understand having a character in universe be like, hey, respect this person's pronouns. Fine. Not Isabella.
Nah, she don't give a fuck.
No, of course she doesn't. And she doesn't mean any ill will by it. That's just not how she... she will fuck off from your party if you're not playful enough with her in Dragon Age 2. She has not grown since Dragon Age 2. Fuck off.
No. In fact, some would say she has shrank.
Don't forget, guys, according to Veilguard... Yeah, Veilguard. I keep wanting to call it Dreadwolf because it's such a cooler name.
It is.
In Veilguard, Isabella is no longer a pirate. She steals from people for historical preservation.
Yeah, she's a Lara Croft now, apparently.
Fuck off. Tarsh is a better pirate than Isabella is because Tarsh kinda doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah. Tarsh does dragon breath to solve puzzles and then steal things.
And while we're talking about the Blight, don't forget this is super special ultra bright Blight, which can't infect you and your party members. Oh no, you guys are awesome. But despite the fact that it is canonical to Dragon Age that dragons cannot be blighted, it can affect dragons.
Yeah, this now can affect new dragons, and, like, to be fair, there always were blighted dragons. They were the archdemons. But...
Yeah, but the point being is you can't infect new ones.
Yeah.
Otherwise, otherwise it'd be like, no, we have to kill every single dragon before a blight starts.
Yeah, because, like, it will just immediately become a new archdemon.
Yeah, and that's bad. But one archdemon is bad enough. But yeah, anyway, the blight. Oh god, they fucked it.
They did. But yeah, since we've both gone in on that one for your number 2 and my number 3, what's your number 3?
I know for a fact you want to talk about this anyway, Rick. Granted, I'm tackling this from a very different point of view, and that is that there's only one place I visited in this game that I gave a fuck about because it was interesting and new, and that is we went to one of the Mortalitasi pyramid things in Navarra, and it was a cool idea. It was a cool thing to explore. At the end of the day, though, it was still just a fucking cave.
Yep.
And I point this out because it would be way more interesting to actually explore more of Navarra. But the more pressing offender is something that we've already seen on screen, but we finally got to explore in person, and it's just Docktown again.
Yeah, like, we got to see the upper city of Tevinter once. Not Minrathous, sorry. The upper city of Minrathous once, and that was in the opening while it was getting fucked up. From then on, we just get Docktown instead, which is like super lower city, not even counting as main Minrathous. Like, we don't get to experience the real Tevinter culture. We just get, okay, this is where the plebs live.
And I've got to be honest with you, you can also say the exact same thing about Antiva, because turns out Antiva is just Venice, but also it's in the middle of a Kunari invasion. Why is it in the middle of a Kunari invasion? Don't worry about it.
Yeah, the Kunari are just working with the villains because they are. Like, you just have to accept it.
The annoying thing is, Rick isn't exaggerating. That's more or less it. Technically, it's a splinter group of Kunari, but the Kun doesn't condemn them, so they might as well be working for the Kunari still.
Yeah. The Kun doesn't come to silence them. And if they did, that would be a good reason, in retrospect, to have maybe sided with the Kun, because they're now helping the world. But no, they're just like... They're doing the good old ostrich policy for international affairs and just doing fucking nothing.
I mean, yeah. Can you even play as a Kunari in this game? I've forgotten.
You can.
Boy, is that
they
awkward.
Look weird. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't look good. They really don't. I was very disappointed by Tarsh's face.
Yeah, you have to go pretty hard out of your way to make your Kunari actually look like either good / cute / badass or whatever. Mostly because they are like 48% forehead, because the horns have to start somewhere instead of starting in the middle of their head like they used to do.
I've got to be real with you, Rick. I think this game just has bad character creation in general, because I tried really hard to make my Inquisitor look like my Inquisitor, which shouldn't be that hard, because my Inquisitor was more or less a default human, but with a different beard and darker hair, and he looked like an overgrown gnome. So yeah, I one of my biggest gripes with this game is the environments are not that interesting. Don't get me wrong, Inquisition wasn't stellar, and the less said about it's still better than Dragon Age 2. It's got more variety than that, so I guess it has one victory over the other quote unquote bad Dragon Age. But Inquisition didn't push the bar that much, but at least it had different places. 3 of them were deserts, I'll admit. But they weren't the first time going to places. Well, I guess it was technically the first time on Orlais, but when you were in Orlais, you were in Val Royeaux. It was a very French city. Yeah,
and then out in the wilderness, it might as well have been anywhere in the world. Like, it didn't matter that like the Emerald Glades were like in Orlais technically. They could have been in Ferelden. Doesn't matter, don't care.
But the weird thing is, Rick, is there's like 3 places to visit in Ferelden, and there's like 6 places to visit in Orlais. 3 of those places in Orlais are deserts, so we'll count that as one place. The areas in Orlais felt different to the areas in Ferelden.
Yeah, like the Emerald Glades, they were nice, they were lush. The reason we knew they weren't in Ferelden is because they weren't muddy.
Pretty much. Like, everything in Ferelden is just a little bit shitty.
Yeah.
But yeah, and shit, you're not even allowed to... Here's the thing, you don't even go to Orlais or Ferelden in this game. No. But you wouldn't know it.
No, you just get told in an email that they're gone.
Don't get me started on that shit.
Yeah, you get told in an email that they're completely blighted and no longer exist. Get fucked.
Even though the Inquisitor is actively over there trying to fight, apparently.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's not great. It's amazing, isn't it? The Blight is super deadly as long as you're not personally there.
Yeah.
Which is, it's like, Rook isn't the only hero in Ferelden. We have, depending on your choices, you could very well have both the hero of Ferelden, Hawk, and the Inquisitor all doing shit. And that's not to get started on all the people from all the various novels and bollocks.
Yeah, they're all kicking about, they're all doing things correctly. But apparently no, none of them can stand up to Northblight, which is not even where the gods are.
Don't even. The amount of stuff, as you were alluding to, that just gets hand-waved by, here's a message, this stuff's happened off screen. It's like, alright, cool, awesome, would have liked to have seen it.
Yeah, or at least had a hand in trying to avert it, and it's okay if we fail up close. But watch us fail. Like, let us struggle against it and still fail. Like, let us feel the consequence of this threat, rather than just steamrolling through everything that we have to do because we can when we're allowed to.
And allow me an extra bonus point, Rick. Every single cameo they had in this game made the character worse.
Yeah.
Dorian is shit. He's just shit. He doesn't do anything now. He says he is, but he doesn't.
Yeah. There's one of the mods is just to make Dorian look like Dorian.
That would be nice. Yeah, Dorian has not aged well.
No, he's not. Like, I think the only thing that looks okay is that his mustache is not painted on anymore.
Yeah, but that's part of his charm.
Yeah, like, his mustache was meant to be, like...
flamboyant
cute,
and silly.
Like that, yeah. Like, I can understand making the same mustache, but, like, having it stick off his face slightly. Like, that would be okay. But the rest of Dorian doesn't look like Dorian.
Yeah, like, Dorian just is so ineffective. Like, doesn't matter what you did with Dorian and how much you helped him, as soon as he returns to Tevinter and somehow takes up a seat in office, despite the fact everything about his story says says he shouldn't.
Yeah, and that he wouldn't give a shit about doing so. Like,
Yeah.
he should be off just banging Bull at this point.
Oh, the problem is that might not have happened in your game. The things that they decide to hand wave based on that is trivial at best. They seem to just randomly decide, we don't want to account for this, so we're just going to pretend it didn't happen.
Yeah. Like, it's possible that you just don't recruit Dorian, but that feels like a... yeah, to be honest, if you don't recruit Dorian, he still lives in the world.
It's weird though, because
So
out of all the companions in the Inquisition, like, your starting three have to join. So Solus, Varric, and Cassandra all join the Inquisition no matter what. You can skip everyone else, apart from Cole and Dorian, who exclusively come to you, either during their recruitment quest or when Corypheus fucks up Haven. They come to the gate, so there's no reason to turn them away.
Yeah, although you still can.
Yeah, you can. Well, you can't. Dorian does help you in Haven. He does stuff off screen. He doesn't join your party there and then, but afterwards you talk to him and you can tell him to fuck off, and I don't know what happens, but I assume he's pouty about it.
Yeah, he says, but I came here to help, and then he fucks off.
Yeah, but he also understands, like, if there is a Tevinton in the world that understands how much the world doesn't trust Tevinter, it's Dorian. And man, I want to go back to the Tosh point actually, now that we're talking about Dorian, is that if you want to do LBGT themes, you can, and BioWare has done it well in Inquisition, first with Dorian, and also with someone dealing with gender identity issues. It's all done before you meet before you meet him. But like, Krem was born a woman, and his story is heartbreaking.
Yeah, and like, Bull understands, because like, it even tells you like, oh, this is the word that they have for it, and they bring it up again in Veilguard with Tasha's mum going, oh, maybe you're this, and Tash goes, no, I'm something completely different.
God, it's just the therapy speak is what gets me the most.
Yeah.
Like,
it's
no one
so sanitized.
Yeah, that is actually the word. It's like the only people who speak in therapy speak are villains, because they want to tiptoe around issues so much so that they don't want you to realise that they hate you for being who you are.
Yeah.
Like, Patton Oswalt has got a great joke about people being in the LGBT community attacking the wrong people based on vernacular, where it's like, it comes down to like, I'm not going to repeat the joke, you should just look it up for yourselves, but basically if you've got some redneck who uses all the slurs like dyke and faggot, but just goes, well, they ain't hurting nobody, just let them be dykes and faggots. That guy's fine. He shouldn't use words like that, sure, but he's fine. It's the guy who's running for office going, yes, of course we care about LGBT people. We just think we should focus more on more family-oriented units. That person you should be scared of.
Yeah. When they try to sweep the things they don't like under an aegis of something that sounds reasonable.
And don't get me wrong, you shouldn't be like, oh, that means hate speech is okay. Of course it's not. But if someone's using it in the context of, just leave them alone and let them do their own thing, you can just ignore that guy, you know?
Yeah. Like, there's that meme, isn't there, of the redneck that's doing, like, exactly that. He's saying something insensitive, but in a positive way.
Yeah, it's because they don't know better, and, like, if the worst crime they use words you don't like, okay, fine, you can attempt to educate, but is it worth the effort if they're not bothering you?
Yeah.
Or rather, not bothering people in general is what I should say. Again, if the general sentiment is, let people do what they want, they're not hurting nobody, even if they use slightly mean words, I think you could be like, fine, they're probably a good person, even if they're a bit weird.
Yeah, the heart's in the right place.
Yeah.
Mouth is running maybe 2 steps ahead, but oh well, don't worry about it.
But yeah, Patton Oswalt tells that joke way better than I possibly could have done, so apologies. That's not how he worded it. He worded it slightly better than that, and used far more slurs. But yeah. And like, speaking of sanitation, again, the only people who speak like that is like, that's something the Joker would do specifically to piss off Batman. But you know what I mean? It's just like, well, this is a safe space, and it's like, you fucking murdered like 5 people with Joker gas. It's like, yeah, but this is a safe space, and you know. Oh god, Isabella!
Man, now you say it, I can just imagine the Joker using that kind of speak to specifically infuriate the now resurrected Tim Drake.
I think you mean Jason Todd.
Yeah, I mean Jason Todd.
Jason Todd Jason Todd's in a weird place where he's never actually been dead because of the Red Hood shit.
Yeah. Well, apparently they needed to use like the Lazarus Pit to bring him back, didn't they?
Oh, fuck the Lazarus Pit. It's just a Deus Ex Machina for bringing people back.
Yeah, it's bollocks. Like, normally it's for Ra's al Ghul, but oh well, don't worry about it.
They used the fucking Lazarus Pit off screen in Justice League Dark. What's his name? Damien fucking used it on Dick Grayson, and it didn't work. So now Dick Grayson is just a zombie that's locked up in a cage, and it's like, is this better? What am I supposed to feel here? Kill him.
Yeah, they had to use it again in Harley Quinn because they killed Dick Grayson by stealing his ass in the Harley Quinn show, and it was because, that was lol random and funny. So yeah, they need Lazarus Pit him back to life in the next season. Stupid.
Yeah, okay, but you're not supposed to take Harley Quinn seriously.
No, you're not.
Not the show, anyway.
No.
I think we've waffled a fair bit. Is there anything else you want to add on the location umbrella?
I think one thing that it might have benefited from is narrowing the pathways in the areas. Like, they were trying to go for a way more action-orientated game, so why not lean more into that? One of the things that the Souls games are generally praised for is level design, layout, and the feel of like being enclosed in something like that. So lean into that and don't have everything be quite so open. Like, the only things that I can super remember, other than, like, courtyards and towny bits, is pretty much that one... I say one. Like, the puzzles in the Arlathan Forest. Like, that's the only thing I remember from pretty much the entire game in terms of the areas.
The annoying thing is, Rick, is, like, you mentioning going between areas, I completely blotted from my mind the Crossroads and what they did to that place. Yeah, that's far too big, that area. It's meant to be a shortcut for you to get... The reason why you can zip-zap walk between places is because of the Crossroads, and you just take an Alluvian taxi.
Yeah.
But there's Darkspawn in there, and there's Kunari in there. Why is everybody in here?
Yeah, how the Kunari got in there. Like, apparently they found an Alluvian and have gotten in, but that's not how that works.
I can understand, like, one or two maybe accidentally stumbling in, but, like, these things were super scary in Dragon Age Origins, because no one knew what they did or how they worked, and now all of a sudden, this is how they work, and it's dumb.
Yeah, it's just a fast travel network to make it convenient.
Oh, goodness. Like, even in Inquisition, like, I just got to the part where Morrigan rejoined us, and again, it just makes me sad, because it's like, man, they butchered Morrigan. But here's Morrigan showing you the Crossroads through her Alluvian, and it's like, oh, this is kind of cool. How come you can't access other places? Well, it turns out, Rick, what they established is to access other places is you have to have the key or touch it from the other side.
Yeah. And so touching it from the other side is a lot easier because, you just go there, and you go there, like, normally. And,
so, again, Rick, I ask you, why are the Kunari here? What do they hope to achieve if they know they can't just get to other places, unless they haven't figured that out yet? But there's a lot of them in here.
I think the idea is that they get in and they can't get out.
But there's a lot of them in there.
Yeah.
The Kunari aren't stupid. Surely after you sent in, like, 2 or 3 squads, you're just like, at this point, I think we're just feeding dudes to the mirror.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, none of them come out. Yeah, but that's my main take on the areas, like what I might change about them. But yes, I think that's a nice and easy place to tie it off for today. If you liked the episode, we have the comment section down below on YouTube. Tell us what you would have changed about Veilguard. Even tell us what you liked. Like, we've been pretty negative today, but there are things about the game that were fun.
Literally the only thing I can think of off the top of my head that I enjoyed about the game is, well, first of all, I will give the combat system a pass. The combat itself was smooth and fun. It just wasn't Dragon Age. But, like, the Lich's storyline was actually incredibly fun to experience.
Yeah, like, Emmerich's story in general felt very impactful. Lucanus' story, if you're on a pro Treviso route, is also pretty good because you get to choose whether or not he makes peace with Spite. But if you're on a Minrathous storyline, then he just wants Spite gone, and after the game he's just gonna kill it.
I can't really blame him though.
No, but it's a bit of a downer, especially when you consider the alternative, which he could do if he weren't so stuck up his own arse about it. But yeah, because his heart is hardened and you can't get that part of his skill tree anymore. No, he's got to be an arsehole now. Yeah, well, apparently hardening your heart just means you can't cast healing spells anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it's dumb logic, but the logic is I don't care about anyone else anymore. I just care about myself. That's what the logic is. but it's stupid.
Yeah, you can't use anything that targets an ally anymore. You just got to do more damage, and you do more damage now because your heart is hardened.
But I've got to be honest with you,
yes.
like, Nev is better at healing anyway. So.
She is. But yes, comment section down below on YouTube or on Spotify. And if you don't want to send a comment for everyone, you could send an email to us specifically. That would go to
nonsensereviewuk@gmail.com. Although that said, if it's fun, witty, informative, or just, you say, please read this out, we might read it out in the future.
Yeah. So yes, that's going to be a goodbye from me for today.
And it's a goodbye from me. We'll hopefully see you next week, but bit of a disclaimer for our overseas fans. Britain's going through a heatwave, so we might not.
Yes, it is hot as one or more balls. Bye, everybody.
Toodles.